This is part 9 of the Swan Princess read-along. Hang on, I've got to scratch my hand for a second. Ooh, and my elbow. Okay, now we can begin. The map. John Bob grabbed it from Speed and held it over his head. It billowed out just like a parachute. Speed reached down for John Bob's legs in vain. He plunged downward. "Save me!" he mumbled. Puffin swooped down. He tried to lift Speed, but only managed to push the turtle towards shore. They tumbled into the dirt, bruised but safe. "Not one of my better land-ins," remarked Speed. In the moat, the alligator snapped their jaws in anticipation. John Bob was dropping closer. John Bob puffed out his cheeks and flew upward. Maybe he could keep the parachute up afloat. Maybe he could blow it towards the shore. Snap, snap. Then again, maybe not. John Bob blew as hard as he could. It was no use. The only place he was going was down. So he closed his eyes and gulped. The bite didn't feel so bad. In fact, he only felt a little jolt. Then he seemed to be floating on a bed of soft feathers. John Bob opened his eyes. He screamed. He was floating on the back of Odette. She craned her neck and smiled at him. John Bob held on tightly while she landed on the shore. "John Bob, you made it!" Puffin exclaimed. John Bob could answer. His teeth were chattering too hard. On a flat patch of dirt, Speed rolled out the map. Odette walked over and gazed at it. "There's Derek's kingdom," she said, pointing with her beak. "When do we leave?" Puffin leaned over the map. "We must have a plan." At a campsite in the forest, Prince Derek threw down a page he had ripped out of the book. A picture of a mouse. Brumley bit into an apple and examined the picture. "It's a mouse," he said. "No," Derek shook his head. "It's a great animal." Brumley laughed. "Tad small, wouldn't you say? Yeah, until it changes into this." Derek laid out 3 more pictures. Each was more. The mouse was larger, more hideous, and in the last it had taken the shape of an enormous beast. "It's an animal that can change its shape," Derek explained. "A harmless creature approaches, then suddenly it's too late." "You mean it could be anything?" "Anything." Bromley stared at the pictures, dumbfounded. A mouse? It seemed too ridiculous to be true, but he believed it. Derek was no fool, and with that monster loose in the forest, Bromley would never make sure to leave Derek's side. The 2 boys mounted their horses with their bows and clippers they slung on their backs and rode towards the forest. As Puffin made final plans, Speed floated lazily on the lake. John Bob lined on Speed's back as Odette swam beside them. "I apologize for the way I've been acting, Odette," John Bob said. "It's all right, John Bob," Odette insisted. No, this Derek, he's important to you. And all I can do is think of myself. Please, Odette, accept my apology." Odette smiled. "Okay, I accept. Good, now let's kiss and make up." "John Bob!" Odette and Speed both scolded. John Bob looked hurt. "What did I say?" "What?" On the shore, Puffin stood and cleared his throat. "Attention!" Odette and Speed snapped upright in the water. John Bob went flying. "It's 0 hour, troops," Puffin shouted. "Odette, prepare for takeoff." Right, Odette replied. The rest of you have your assignments back here on land, Puffin insisted. Is everyone ready? Ready for action, sir, Speed said. How about you, John Bob? Puffin asked. John Bob whistled and looking aspently looking off in another direction. Puffin took a deep breath. Oh, how about you, your highness? John Bob smiled. I am ready. Puff, take off, Puffin bellowed. Beating their wings mightily, he and Odette took to the air. Good luck, Speed said. Have a nice flight. Be careful, John Bob called out. If anything happens to her, I'll have you flogged, licked, put on the rack, then have your legs fried in butter. Bromley was shaken. He and Derek were entering the forest now. Even in the daytime, the place was dark. It was not only that, but it was full of creatures, full of possible disguises for the great animal. At this point, it wasn't exactly on Bromley's top 10 list of areas to visit. He's in here, Brom, Derek said, dismounting. I can feel it. How will you know the great animal when you see it? Bromley asked. I mean, it could be anything. Derek's face was determined and unquestioning. I know. I'll know. Better stay close. Bromley jumped off the horse and stood shoulder to shoulder with Derek. If you say so. Quietly, Derek walked into the forest. Bromley followed him step for step. Derek stopped and looked around. Bromley stopped too. Did Derek head something? What was that shadow between the dead pine trees? His eyes like two saucers. Bromley gazed around cautiously. When he turned back, Derek was gone. Derek! Bromley squeaked. Derek, where are you? Half hidden in the shadow's head. Derek rolled around. Shh! Sorry. Derek scampered among the trees like a cat. Bromley stumbled behind, panting, looking for anything that might be a possible disguise for. A little dragonfly floated past Bromley. It could be anything. The words were etched from Bromley's mind. He picked an arrow from his quiver, loaded his bow into a aim. Derek, Bromley whispered. Derek? The dragonfly was coming closer to Bromley's nose. Derek! Seeing Bromley let the arrow go. It missed the dragonfly and shot through the branches. High above the forest, Odette and Puffin flew steadily towards Derek's castle. Puffin's wing felt as strong as ever now, but Odette was nervous. You don't think there could be any hunters, do you? She asked. At ease, Odette, Puffin replied. I can smell a human a mile away. Seeing the arrow felt so close. Odette could feel a breeze. She and Puffin both let out a scream. Where did that come from? Puffin asked. Derek! Odette recognized the voice. Bromley's. Derek, she repeated. He's here. You will not lose control, Puffin commanded. You will follow the planet's outline. But Odette wasn't listening. Desperately, her eyes searched the area below for a sign. Any sign of her beloved it. Puffin flew under her, blocking her view. Acknowledge, Odette. Acknowledge! Odette maneuvered around him. She dove downward into the heart of the forest. Odette! Puffin called, racing her. Not far away, Bromley looked quietly on the falling pine needles. He tensed his bow, lining up his prey against the shaft of an arrow. A mouse cowered against a rock. Trap. I got you now, Bromley gloated. Don't give me that innocent look. Go ahead. Transform. I'm not afraid of you. The mouse shivered with fright. He let out a tiny squeak. Squeak! Bromley dropped his bow and arrow. Ah! He screamed, high-tailing it into the woods. Derek didn't hear his friend scream. He was concentrating. Above the tree trunks was a golden flash of light. It was moving towards him as him, shimmering as it passed around the tree branches. He took cover behind a tree out of sight. Quickly, he put an arrow to his bowstring. Now he heard the flapping of great wings. He raised his bow, ready for the shot. For the sound of it, he had to be quick. He peeked from behind a tree and aimed. In his sight, flying towards him at great speed, was a majestic white bird. Derek lowered his bow. A swan? Why on earth was a swan flying through the woods? Of course, he said to himself, it's not what it seems. It's not what it seems. This was a trap. It had to be. Just a little closer, he murmured. Come on. Come on.
Good morning, my quiet little girl.
There. Close enough. Sure shot. He stepped out of the tree, laying the swan up in his sight. With all his strength, he pulled the bowstring taut. This one he would not miss. This one, he announced out loud, is for Odette. Derek let go. The arrow sliced, dead on target.